lashes are, they're a little big for me, y'all. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. If you're new, if you're old, welcome back. In today's video, I am bringing to you guys a story time when I experienced this crazy online dating person. Yeah, so if you guys want to hear this story, please keep watching. Give this video a thumbs up, as well as comment below, and don't forget that subscribe button on the right hand side so you guys can get all my notifications. And if you want to if you want to hear about this story, then continue to keep watching. So y'all, I met this guy on POF, and then we actually maybe waited like a couple weeks until we actually exchanged phone numbers so that we can actually like FaceTime and stuff. And we went on this date. We went to this restaurant downtown Detroit. Because if you guys didn't know, I live in Michigan. And he actually asked me if I wanted to meet up at his house and then we ride in one car or we just drive separately. And my dumbass was like, yeah, sure, you know, I'll come to your house and you can drive. Not really thinking like, damn, this is like gonna be the first time I actually meet this person in person. Like, but all the stuff wasn't really going through my mind. I was just kind of like, oh yeah, sure, you know. I mean, we just kind of like, I feel like had like a vibe, and I was just like, oh, you know, he seemed okay, you know. So the day of the date had came, and I live maybe about 30 minutes from him, so I was just kind of like, we had a time set, and I think he had even set a reservation for the restaurant, so we had to be there on time. And I got to his house. I texted him and told him I was outside, and then he came outside, greeted me, and we were riding in his car, but he didn't open my car door, which I was like a little confused about, because I'm like, well, he's on this side of the car, well, his car, so why doesn't he just open the door instead of, because he's already on the side, versus giving me a hug, greeting me, hey, how you doing, and then getting back on his driver's side to get in the car. But that's what he did. He got back on his side of the car and got in the car. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. So I ended up opening the door, got in the car, you know, we drove down to the restaurant. It was maybe like 15 minutes from his place. And, you know, conversation was cool. He had asked me what type of music do I like to listen to. I told him I wasn't particular, you know, anything was good for me, good with me. So he was just playing whatever music he wanted to play. And then we got to the restaurant like maybe a little bit late. I mean, we didn't miss the reservation though. So, I mean, that was a good thing. It was I think it was a Friday night. So it was a little crowded in there. And the waiter came up to us and, you know, she asked us, is there anything we like for appetizer or something to drink? I wanted some wine, so we ended up ordering some wine. It was Riesling wine. Thank you for putting me on that Riesling wine, though, because that's all I drink now. And the wine was just not overly poweringly sweet. I don't know if that's a word, but it was like in between. It was like medium sweet, if you want to say. It was really good, so I've been drinking Riesling wine ever since this disaster date. So I ended up ordering like I think a steak or something, and like some crab legs of some sort, and he ended up ordering a steak and like had some sides or whatever with it. Afterwards, we went back to his place and I ended up going back home. Like, that was it. Nothing else happened from there. Remind you guys, this was the first date, so after we got done with the arcade festivities and stuff, I ended up going back home, and then, you know, he went back home, well, went home as well, or whatever he did. Weeks had passed, and then we would still converse over the phone, and he was like, oh, you know, we haven't seen each other in a few weeks. He was like, maybe we should link up, and I'm like, okay. So my dumbass, again, goes to his house, and this time we're not doing, like, outside activities where we're in front of, like, a public crowd. It's more like we're at his house, and I was gonna order some food. He had actually just gotten off of work and wanted to take a shower, so I was like, okay, well, do your thing. I'll be waiting for you out here in the living room. And he ended up taking a shower, and I ended up having to use the restroom. So I had knocked on his, the bathroom door, and I was like, hey, are you gonna finish up anytime soon so I can come in and use the restroom? He's like, oh yeah, I'll be out in a minute. He comes out, cool, whatever. I go in to use the restroom, and then while I'm actually finishing up using the restroom, he busts open the fucking door, y'all. Opens the door, like. Oh yeah, y'all. Quick thing, I forgot to tell y'all, this man was butt ass naked, y'all. When he opened the door, standing in the doorway, booty ass naked with no towel around him. Because his door doesn't have, I guess it doesn't have a lock on the door. I didn't see a lock on the door, so he just casually opens the door up when I'm using the restroom, y'all. Like, you guys are probably like, why the fuck didn't she leave when he walked in while you were using the bathroom? Yeah, y'all, I know. I like testing the waters. Bit strange. And after that, I'm just kind of like, okay. It kind of had me like questionable at first, because I'm just like, well, why would somebody kind of do that? Like, I'm in here using the restroom. Why would you just bust open the door while I'm using the bathroom? But so we're gonna fast forward, y'all. After that, we end up looking online trying to see, if Grubhub or Uber Eats or something can like deliver, because we didn't really want to leave the house. So we were ordering from IHOP, and we put the order in, and I think the restaurant ended up calling me and saying, hey, our restaurant is actually closed or is closing, and they won't be able to process the order, so they're gonna just cancel my order, and then they're gonna like refund me, I guess, the money back. And this nigga had me paying for the meal. Like, bitch, what? And I'm just like, okay, well, we found this other restaurant that was still open, but we would have to go drive and pick it up, which it wasn't far from where he had stayed at. So we put the order in, went to go get the food, and then came back. They didn't put silverware in the bag. I had a salad, so I needed like some type of like silverware or plasticware utensil to use, to eat the salad. He had like some sliders, so he necessarily didn't need silverware to eat the sliders, because that's finger food, and his kitchen was like a little messy. It wasn't like too nasty, but it was like a little messy, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, do you have a fork? And he was just like, oh, let me see. Now he has like this little pile that was kind of close to the sink, that I think trash that he needed to throw out but just didn't throw out, and I think he had takeout from the night before or something like that. Food that was actually still in the carton from, like I said, a few days ago or something, had a plastic fork in it. He goes over to that, takes the fork out, washes the fork off with dish soap, and tries to service me. Oh, hell no! I was like, wait, what did you just do? I was like, and I seen him do it. So it was no like really way of him kind of saying like, oh, I got this out of a plastic bag, this is clean or anything. I'm just like, you just washed a dirty ass plastic fork, and now you're trying to serve it to me? Like, that's not gonna work. And he's just like, well, why not? He's like, I washed the fork, and I'm just like, but still, I was like, you don't have any forks? And he's like, well, I, eat at my job. He's like, and I take my silverware there. He's like, when I'm eating, he was like, so I just had left my silverware at the job. And I'm just kind of like, that's weird. So I'm like, at this point, I didn't even want the salad, because I'm just like, you had to do all that. Like, there was no way where you had like any clean silverware or extra plasticware that you had, maybe if you would have ate out somewhere else. Some people just keep extra plasticware. I know I do, just in case, like, say if my forks are dirty or just whatever the case may be. It's always good to have more than less. So I ended up saying, you know what, never mind, it's all right. I was like, the salad's not that deep. I can just eat it later when I get back home. And he was just like, oh, no. He was like, you can just use a fork. And I'm like, nah, that's okay. So he's smashing his food while I can't even eat mine, because the nigga don't even have a fucking fork. And then maybe a few minutes had passed, and he was like getting a little childish and tried to throw water on me. And I'm just like, why are you trying to throw water on me? And he was like, oh, a little water is not going to hurt. I'm like, I don't care. The only time I want water being thrown on me is if I'm in the shower or I'm swimming in the swimming pool. Like, why are you throwing water on somebody? I'm like, a black girl at that. Like, you about to get my hair wet. I don't play that. And then he was just like, he didn't really think much of it. He didn't think it was like a big deal. But I was just like, yeah, I kind of have an issue with this. And He ended up like again I said, he tried to throw water on me, and I think I ended up like smacking the bottle out of his hand, and then the water went everywhere on the couch, and he had a leather couch, so that would be easy cleaning. He pretty much tried to make me clean up the water. He's like, oh, you just made a mess. He's like, now you got to clean up. I'm like, you clean up yourself. Like, it's never that deep. It's just water. And he was like tripping. And after that, I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm just about to get up and go. And he just like, was water pouring on you as a child? And I'm like, that's besides the point. I'm like, why are you throwing water on me? Like, how old are we? You don't even know if I even like to be played around like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I had only known you for how many weeks? And now you're trying to play around like that? I don't really like, personally, I don't like stuff like that. So it's just kind of like, you don't know what I like. You don't know my likes. You don't know my dislikes. And now you're up here playing around with some water, being childish. So at that point, I ended up getting my stuff, and I was about to leave, y'all. And he was like, fine, you can leave, you can leave. He opens the door for me to like exit his apartment, and he's just like, he doesn't say anything. He just like pushes me, y'all, like full fucking force, bitch. And how his apartment is set up is, as soon as you open everybody's door in his apartment complex, you're right there at the parking lot. Like, you have your own entrance, so there's nobody there to like buzz you in or anything like that. Like some complexes are, you're kind of like, your own entrance is like, you have private entrance, I guess you want to say it is. And that's pretty much what it was. He pushed me full force and like slams the door behind me. This was maybe like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, this nigga is crazy as fuck. So I ended up getting in the car. I called my mom and I told her, I was like, yeah, this is what happened. Remind y'all, she knew I was going out with this guy, but she didn't know I was going to go over to his house. I told her, yeah, I'm about to go hang out with such and such. She had wanted me to keep my location on, so she could kind of know where I'm at and stuff. But I was telling her what was going on, and she was like, what? She's like, yeah, you need to block him. She's like, I would have left on the first round when he tried to come in the bathroom. Well, when he did open the door when you were using the bathroom, that's when I would have been left. She's like, I think you kind of gave it too many tries, which I think I did, but lesson learned for me, like, okay, well, somebody that you don't even know, I shouldn't even had no business going over his house, and I had only known him for a few weeks. You know what I'm saying? Some people say, oh, there's nothing wrong with it, but I mean, anything could have happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like in his sanctuary. I don't know if he could have had somebody else extra there. Like, just thinking of the utmost like craziest thing that could have happened to me. So I'm actually thankful that nothing happened, nothing serious happened. I mean, that was like a little bit over edge, but that was the only thing that happened to me. So I ended up blocking him on all my social media I ended up blocking him on all my social media. He didn't contact me after, obviously, because I blocked him. And that was it. And I was just kind of like, oh, and I think I even went on to the POF page, and I ended up reporting him and like wrote a little comment and saying, oh yeah, I think this person is potential dangerous. They kind of got like a little violent or rude or kind of with me when I have went out with them. So just to kind of let POF know, oh, this is not a Tinder experience. This is a POF experience. So I don't know how popular POF is from Tinder, because I know I hear a lot of people talking about Tinder and not so much POF. So if you guys are ever online dating, please be careful. Let everyone know where, not everyone, but at least your close friends know where you're going. Maybe even turn on your location so people kind of know, like, okay, this is where she is, or this is where, majority women, I mean guys too, yeah, but I feel like guys can more so defend themselves more than women can, which it's kind of bad, but I think personally, just to be on the safe side, to make sure you're safe, and people to know where you are and stuff like that, I would just tell them like, hey, or I remember my mom even telling me that her homegirls, when they would go out on like dates or something like that with other guys, they would be like a guest in the restaurant that her homegirl and the guy attends, and she'll sit around the area that they're sitting in, but not like, right there where, I mean, they could sit right there if they wanted to. I mean, but it's like the guy wouldn't know that is my mom's friend or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So that's how she told me that they would kind of do. She would sit close to kind of hear majority of the stuff, but kind of at the same time, like, so she can see if something were to happen, then she can like kind of intervene. But the only person that would obviously know that is watching them on the date is her friend. You know, the guy wouldn't know. So maybe that can even like help as well too if people want to do that. I've never heard of that. That was my mom who had actually said that her and her homegirls used to do that. So I know this was like a minor POF experience, but it was really crazy for me because I'm just like, damn, what if he would have done anything like super crazy or anything like that? So, but that is my POF experience, my Tinder experience, whatever you want to call it. I hope, again, everyone has really good judgment with these people because it's like a lot of crazy Looney Tunes out here in the world, and you know, we want everybody to be safe. So if you guys like these story times, I know this was probably like really quick, let me know. I have like a couple other crazy stories. So yeah, again, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, like, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, y'all. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.